I had to walk back certain things that they said. If you don't know, TMZ is one of the ones who had originally led us down the rabbit hole that David was basically suspect number one. Well, during the live stream, it seemed like TMZ definitely got their Michael Jackson shoes.
Shouts out to my boy Sadie Nash. It's your boy Punch Banger with I'm Confused TV. Back with another one. We about to do a quick reaction to my boy Sadie Nash talking about David with the four, not David with the other thing. But let's get back to it.
On because the boy, Harvey, yeah, he had to come out and say some very compelling things, and it's interesting.
Okay. Taken care of. The others suck. Anything about David?
I can't live 24 hours with praise.
I do have something, but I can't talk about it. Yeah, I do have something, but I just can't talk about it. There are certain things I'll tell you if I know something, and if I don't, and if I can tell you, I will. But I'm not able to do this story, and it's complicated why. But I just can't say.
Do you know why it's complicated now, or no?
I'm going to give you a guess.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a guess. No matter what happened, and this may not be a homicide, it could be a drug overdose. And I'll give you an example. That was a party house. And the Sunday before the body was found, they had a big party there. I'm not saying that's when this happened, but they had a big party there, and the neighbors were complaining, and we talked to neighbors who were saying they always had parties there. It was a party house. It was really noisy. But she's, this 14-year-old child, and she's in the mix in these parties. So theoretically, there could have been something that happened at a party where she took something she shouldn't have or whatever and died. And then they thought, fuck, what are we going to do with this body? It could have happened without him even being there. So that's a theory, right? My theory has...
Whoa. So that means all of these vloggers that was putting out this information saying, man, this dude did that, he wrote all these songs, man, that's this, that, and the third. Man, that's crazy.
Always been that if he did something, whether he did something to her or something happened to her on his watch where he was going to be blamed, it doesn't make sense to me. He's going to put her in his car and park it on Doheny Drive, which is a busy residential street, knowing it's going to get towed. Because I used to live on Doheny Drive, and there are street cleaners that come up, and they ticket your car if it's parked there on street cleaning days, and they will tow it if it's there too long. And anybody who's lived there kind of knows that. And why would he put a body in a car and then go on tour knowing that the car is going to get towed and somebody's going to find the body? So logic tells me he did not put this body in that car.
Yeah.
That's what logic is telling me. Whatever happened before, it makes no sense to me that David put Celeste's body in his car, parked it on Doheny Drive near his house, and then left to go on tour. Makes no sense. So I don't think that happened. I don't think it was David who put the body in the car. And now you have to get to what caused her death.
Or,
and I think
hear me out, he could have murdered her like he did in his demonic song.
Fine. And her body was decomposing for a long time in that car. It could have been there for 2 weeks. So if it's there for 2 weeks and he was on something, at a point, he is lucid enough to call a friend and say, get the fucking car off Doheny. And that didn't happen. So that's why I just don't, I may be wrong, I'm just giving you my logic on this. It makes no sense to me.
In the first video that we did, which actually is funny as hell, not funny like ha ha, like interestingly enough, there was certain things that people knew and people didn't know. If you never stayed in LA County, don't worry. Where they stay at is Party City. And in my video, I let you cats know who are outsiders of LA County, bruh, meaning you ain't been there, you ain't lived there, or nothing like that, and you ain't never partied there. Whole lot of scante. But either way it go. I had basically said, bro, I think she was partying with people because at the end of the day, that's what they do up over there. So now it gets revealed that, hey, there's been calls, a whole lot of calls about this particular place because now it seems like some of that footage, what was on that footage, police got to talking to Harvey and was like, hey, bro, yeah, this might not be that. But you made us believe that it was a murder. Well, it turns out that footage that we got shows a whole lot of partying. Damn, a 14-year-old with a big-ass mansion and a Tesla is partying? Yep, that's what I'm letting you know, man. Just letting you know I seen the footage. All right, man. God dang, I thought we saw the perfect murder. I know, man. We didn't do our due diligence. We just thought we had them. And it seems as though right now they're going to start pushing back on all.
Now that's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy work right there, yo. That's very crazy work. Because the whole internet was going up in a frenzy. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's still probably gonna be stuff that comes out that, you know, how can I say, he might still be, you know, at fault for, you know, the extra stuff. But let's keep going with the story.
A whole lot of stuff because TMZ could be in a whole lot of trouble if they don't fix this immediately. If you do the damage, you must do the repair. Let's continue on.
That car and then parked it on Doheny and left for Torrey. Does not make sense. A reason why the cops may not be doing anything now is they're waiting for the toxicology report to come back, because the toxicology report is going to show what was in her body. And, you know, I don't know about, you know, there are different stories about, was it cut up? If so, how much? If a body is cut up, it may be they can't easily determine a cause of death unless it's like a gunshot wound or something where you could see it. And if it's something other than that and the body's cut up, it may not be as easy to fully determine that. And that's why I think they're waiting on toxicology. Now, here's what doesn't make sense to me. That toxicology normally takes a couple of months. They're backed up at the medical examiner's office. They're just backed up. But you can get pushed to the front of the line. That happens. And I don't know why this case wouldn't have been pushed to the front of the line. So I don't know if the LAPD has the tox results back, but I think those tox results are going to be really important. And why did the cops say complicated? Because I don't think David put that body in the car, and they have video from the Tesla, and I don't think it shows that. My guess, that is a guess.
Now, that's one thing too. If anybody got a Tesla, the Tesla records at all times. When people get close to the car, it starts recording. When people be in and out the car be recording. Sometimes the car records sound and stuff like that. So they got information.
That's the only thing that
He had to have known something. If they loved each other and hadn't heard from her in days, he would have been concerned.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I don't know any of that.
What did Harvey mean when he said that TMZ didn't want to get dinged for saying something incorrect? I want him to elaborate.
That I'm not going to guess about what may have happened or what the police are doing unless I know it. You know, I that's why there are things I'm not going to say to you, because we've got to vet them. And we go down a lot of dead ends where things end up not being true, and we're not going to put all those things.
Just an English tutorial, English teaching. Vet means to clear up, to fix.
Things up. Because then when something is true, why would you believe it? Plus, it's irresponsible.
It had to be cut up or manipulated somehow because she was over 5 feet and that frunk is so tiny. No way her body would have fit without being manipulated, just saying.
No, you could put a 5-foot body in.
She was a runaway. They always treat runaways and sex workers with no respect or urgency. Law enforcement, I mean.
Not this case. Well, now they're all over this case. They're all over this case. I can tell you that. This is not something they're ignoring. They are focused on this case. But I got to tell you, everybody's assuming it's a homicide. What if it's not? What if it's a drug overdose?
Yeah.
I mean, what if it's a drug overdose?
But if it's a drug overdose, how is the body cut up? And why would the body be cut up? If it was an overdose and they got nervous and they cut her up, crazy work, bro. Crazy work.
Are you really discounting that?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a party house. She partied there. She was there.
Yeah.
They had a lot of parties. I don't see how you can easily say, oh, it's got to be a homicide.
Harvey has done this for generations. He knows exactly what to say.
Okay,
That's true.
you know what?
Oh my
I know
God.
I'm old.
See,
I don't need you to reinforce that.
see, the thing
Who
is,
said that?
when who did say that? Justin Harris.
Justin, it cuts like a knife.
I don't think he meant it. Oh,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
Bad
I didn't
timing.
mean that.
So Nash, are you admitting that you got it wrong? It's certainly leaning towards that way, and trust me, we are not beyond repair. We are not beyond standing up and saying this was wrong. We're not beyond saying that we're not wrong. That's what the visionaries do. Accountability is rule number one over here. Well, amongst a whole lot of things. First things first is we make sure we eat first. Big stomach over here. But to the serious point. If that toxicology report comes back and it shows that there are traces of drugs in her blood and all of this stuff, and it seems more than likely than not that that's what happened, then so be it. Then we got to start talking about how it is that Celeste Rivas Hernandez had actually gotten up over there. What do you mean? Did she, or is there some type of communication that leads it to believe that she had all the makings, all the IOIs? I don't know if you're new to the channel. IOIs means indicator of interest. If there were indicators of interest that showed us and show us, or indicators of information, some of y'all be like, well, Nash, sometimes you say information. Is there information that leads up to us knowing certain things? What are certain things? Certain things are the identification. Is the identification actually going to show that, hey, David actually got duped as well? Now, some of y'all go, bruh, y'all seen the photos, y'all seen all this crap and everything like that and all this stuff. Yeah, and nay. And what do I mean when I say that? Yeah, you can make those inferences, and I wouldn't fight you on that. But I would also provide you with another remedy to see. How do we know? How do we know that what he was told was, oh, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. Now, I'm not saying, and this and that means I look young for my age. Oh, I'm 16. Oh, I'm 17. All of this crap. David at the time would have been 18, which in California is legal. He would have been 19, messing with a 16-year-old, which if he's... It gets a little muddy, those waters. I would tell you 19-year-olds, do not do any of that crap. You are not living in places like Ohio, bro, where the age of consent is 16. But California is 18, but they had some weird-ass thing that now exists because some cats were in high school, let's say a junior messing with a freshman, or senior messing with a freshman, or senior messing with a sophomore. These things happen. So when they're getting out of high school and all this shit and they're remaining faithful to their girlfriends, they still hitting Pound Town. Now, California had basically pushed back on that and like, yeah, it's muddy waters, so it had to be a certain time frame, establish communications, and blah, blah, blah. So if it seems as though David was on the cusp of that, he's not going to be hit with anything. It could be looked at as though shit, she might have, and I'm not saying that she did, but she might have been able to pull the wool over his eyes. And if that happened, if that is able to be proven, David walks on scot-free. Now, one of the things that we must be ready to understand is everything we know is nothing except what's provided. Nothing is real unless it's permitted. Meaning, if you accept the information that's given to you, cool. If you don't, you reject it, it's not real. How does that factor into this? Is because we were led astray. This is all TMZ fault. So now I believe TMZ knows as well as we don't that the story that they were fed by that cop ain't it. Of course, David was going to be suspect number one. When there's something that happens or something that it seems like happened, and this is your stuff that the person was quote unquote found in, you always are suspect number one. Imagine if your car was stolen and you didn't know. Let's just say you were asleep and somebody stole your car. Your car's sitting outside, and all of a sudden, somebody is found in the trunk of your car, and the person who allegedly killed the other person parked it around the corner. They're like, oh shit, let me see if I can put the heat off on this individual. You getting your beauty sleep in, wake up to it. Los Angeles Sheriff, need to talk to you. Or whatever your PD is. Atlanta PD, let me talk to you. Hey, I'm sergeant, whatever. I'm sheriff, whatever. All of this crap. And you ain't knowing nothing. You like, wait, what? So now there's a mysterious death that happens, and then it takes the nation by storm because of what the hell. Now, who's going to be suspect number one? You. It's your vehicle. Even worse is if the person was actually a friend of yours. Or lover. But we'll see how this pans out, bro. If he's innocent, he's innocent. I'm not going to push the issue. I'm not finna sit up here and push the issue. They're going to have to come out with a full, detailed...
So I finally...
how they got to where they got to as far as the death. But as far as the relationship goes, that's on David. If I'm David, I'm never speaking on this shit. I'm just going to say a young lady who I thought was this age perished. Beyond that, I'm not saying anything else, because the moment that you open your mouth about this situation, nobody's going to believe you, and the small amount of people that will believe you will not be more vocal than the vocal majority. So at the end of the day, is David's career over? Hell nah. No. Might just be getting started all over again. Because if I'm David, I'm looking at this as a victim. I'm coming out with a song explaining how somebody that I loved was not the age I thought that they were. How somebody who I took care of, I left everything to, and they couldn't take care of themselves. If I'm David, I'm playing a victim. Some of y'all ain't gonna like that, but it just is what it is. I'm playing victim if I'm David. Some of y'all might be mad at that, but I can't get mad at you for being mad at that. But yeah, TMZ, it look like they gonna do their Michael Jackson moonwalk backwards, because this ain't looking like what they told us in the first place. So, do I believe he did it? I'm still believing that because of how all of this shit happened. Like, hey, he might have gave her some bad scante, you feel me? And that might have set her off. Or that fent ball, he might have pinched something off of one of them, you know what I'm saying, them unis. But if that's what happened, that's still on him. Fuck you doing drugs with. Anyways. Subscribe to the best to notify, share to keep your people aware. Click right here and see how Fonnie Willis